Hello, friend. Welcome. Glad to see you. I'm Julie. This is Julie's Carnivore Quest, in case you're new here, where I am just documenting and sharing my health quest using the carnivore way of eating. And I have a giant smudge on my glasses. Seriously, I wear my glasses on my face all day long. I don't know how they get so smudged. But I'm also showing up with my hair in its pretty natural state. The older I get, the more curly it gets. And I have some really good curls on the bottom layers, but this top layer isn't so curly yet. So it's kind of annoying because I prefer it to be nice and curly in a way that looks really nice, right? But what I get is a weird sort of stringy curls, except I have this one patch under here that's like, where is it? It's like a little corkscrew. Anyway, I digress, as I usually do. I am here today to share. Today is June 18th, and I have been fully carnivore since May the 1st. So the first thing I want to share, I can't look through these with that smudge on them. Oh my gosh. We have a stormy day here in Illinois. We are currently under a tornado warning, not a tornado watch, right? Which is like a taco warning, is that you have all the ingredients to make tacos, but a taco watch means the tacos are ready. So same with tornadoes. Tornado warning means that we have all the ingredients to make a tornado, but we don't have a tornado yet. So I'm unconcerned, to be honest with you. But I will note that it was just almost 3 years ago that a tree fell through our house, causing so much pain and anguish and frustration. And we now have no trees in our yard, front or back, because trees are pretty but dangerous, or at least the very tall, old growth trees. If you have them near your house, beware. So nevertheless, I want to get to the point. Thank you for bearing with me. So I went fully carnivore May the 1st. I've talked about this before, that during March and April, I did sort of halfway carnivore, sort of half, you know what, right? But still was having trouble like getting off the carby sugar things. And for me, my carb addiction really starts with, like if I have any kind of bread, like toast or a roll with a dinner or, what have you, a cinnamon roll or a donut or whatever, anything like that, then that will lead me to crave salty, crunchy things, which then leads me to crave like cookie, donutty, cupcakey things and candy. So I have so there's that whole cycle. So I was having trouble in March and April getting fully carnivore. Then, so I decided May 1st was it. I was just going to do everything I could to stay fully carnivore. And I started this channel as a way to be accountable and share, because that's what you have to, that's what encourages other people, is to just show you how it's going. I didn't struggle very much with sugar carb cravings during these last 7, almost 8 weeks now, which is a little shocking to me. I normally, in the past, I would really struggle with that. So I don't know what the deal is, or if I had just made up my mind so definitively that was it, that just sort of removed that from my brain, that sense of craving and longing for carbs. Because I'll tell you, we have lots of carbs here in the house. The husband is a carb. He's probably 80% carbs. I do what I can to get as much protein and meat and stuff into him as possible, but he loves his carbs. And so there's lots of them here. In the past, they would have tormented me. I would joke that I could hear them saying, "Come and get me," you know. But that's really not far off from the truth. If you are a carb addict, then you know what that's like to sort of feel like you've got that noise in your head, like you couldn't let it go, knowing that there were whatever, cookie dough in the refrigerator or ice cream in the freezer or whatever your thing was. You know, it's so I have really been absent that entire thing except for one day, which I have shared about, that I even went into the kitchen to get something, and then I thought, no, because I don't want to have to get on YouTube and admit that I caved, right? So far, so good. So May 1st, and that's only been not even 8 weeks ago, I have lost 14 pounds. 14 pounds in 8 weeks. I almost can't believe it. If I didn't look at the numbers and calculate them several times, I wouldn't even feel like it's real. I have eaten until I'm full every day, as many times as I felt like I wanted to have something. Most of the time, that's twice a day. Sometimes I would have like 2 meals and then a smaller little bit of something in the, maybe in that like late evening or like 6:30, 7 o'clock, when I felt like I really was a little hungry, but not enough to have like a meal. I would go get, like hard-boiled egg or a couple of cheese sticks or something like that, something small. I have been without much cheese for about 2 weeks, and I haven't really noticed much yet, except I had something that had cheese on it. Did I make an omelet or something? Oh, I know what it was. I made like a carnivore, like a breadstick kind of thing. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. And that's using cheese. And what I found was that the very next day after I had that little snacky thing, is that I had inflammation. I could tell in my fingers because my ring was really tight, and I could tell in my feet because when I went to go walk, my walking shoes felt much tighter than they normally do, which even though my feet didn't look swollen at all, I could feel it. So that's the only thing I noticed about the cheese. So let me explain what the little sort of breadstick kind of concept is with carnivore, because some people really love it. It's delicious. It's really easy. And it does give you that feeling of like having that little like cheesy breadstick type of thing. You take shredded cheese, whatever kind you like the best. I tend to like cheddar. And the sharper, the better for me. And an egg, or you can use 2 eggs, but then you just mix those 2 together till it gets a consistency that's not too dry and not too wet. You'll know it when you're stirring it up, that it holds together, but it's not super clumpy, and it's also not too like runny. So you'd use that, and then if you eat any seasonings at all, you can add your seasonings in there. Salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, maybe garlic, Italian seasoning, whatever your jam is. And so I did that, and I added a little tiny bit of red pepper. Oh, see, I don't love how my hair looks like that. Anyway, so I did that, and then you spread it out on a parchment lined like cookie sheet, and you make it as thin as you can make it, and just pat it down and make it as thin as you can. And then I put pepperoni slices on top of mine, and then a little bit of Parmesan on top. I baked it in a 350 degree oven for a few minutes. It didn't take long. It wasn't a giant, it was only, maybe not even the size of like a dinner plate. So it wasn't a huge amount. But you leave it in there until it's, kind of browned a little bit, that the cheese is all melty and it's a little bit, you can tell it's obviously like holds together. And it didn't take very long, 15, maybe 20 minutes. Then I took it out and then I just cut it into strips like breadsticks with a pizza cutter. I let it cool a couple of minutes. And then you can just pick it up and eat it. It's like, it's not crispy. I'm sure if you cooked it longer, it would get a little crispy, but I didn't really want it to be quite that cooked. And so it's a nice little treat when you're feeling like you want pizza or something. You could probably, if you had like a little bit of cooked ground Italian sausage or something like that, or pepperoni, or whatever. If you eat olives or like banana peppers on your pizza or something, you could, if that's what you want to eat, you could do that as a little bit of something. But I just added a little pepperoni and it was delicious. But like I said, I noticed the next day I had inflammation. So I probably won't make that very often. I'm trying to still reduce inflammation, especially I notice it's still in my joints. They're not quite as, I don't have quite as much knee pain as I had at the beginning. It's going down, it's decreasing, but it's not gone away 100% yet, which is fine because I know that the carnivore way is a long game. It's not a sprint. It's not fast. It's not intended to be like a crash diet because it isn't. It's a fully nutritionally dense diet. And so I understand that all these things that I have had bugging me for years are going to take time to heal. But the more I get the nutrition, the better chance I have of them resolving completely over time, right? Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or, anything you want to share about your own carnivore quest and what you noticed with your own healing. I love to hear about what's going on with other people because that just gives me motivation too, right? Like we learn and grow in connection with other people. And I do love being able to come on here and chat for a few minutes about my progress and being accountable. Because those of us, you've heard me talk about this in other videos, who are obligers, find that it helps me stay on track if I am obliged to be accountable to you. If you need someone to be accountable to, and notice that that is something that helps you in other areas of your life, and this might be, you might find that it helps to stay on it. That's why so many eating plans or so many diet programs or so many fitness programs have groups, because it does help to have the support of someone doing the same thing, that little extra accountability for them to say, hey, what happened? Let's talk about what can happen in the future and figure out a way to help you get over that next time, right? So if you need someone to be obliged to or accountable to, leave me a message and we can do a little check-in somehow, whether it's on YouTube or somewhere else, I don't know. I will look into getting maybe some kind of messaging app or something that we can, kind of use, if that's something that would be helpful for you, or just enjoyable, because humans crave connection. And like, I don't have anyone around me who's doing carnivore in my immediate area. I don't even really share much with my immediate people that I'm doing this right now, only because I want to continue to make progress without worrying about any kind of input or judgment or anything from anyone here in my immediate circle. I'm just not really feeling like that is something that I need to share quite yet. I just want to keep making progress. I may share on my Facebook about my weight loss and point them towards this channel. But even so, I don't, I don't feel real strongly that that is something I need to do, immediately. I don't feel like I need to convert people. I just feel like sharing and being accountable by sharing on this channel is enough for me right now. But if you want someone to be accountable to, I'm here for you. I'd be willing to find a way for us to share and just share wins or share share ways we overcame like a craving or whatever it is, right? I know back in the past when I was carnivore, I did struggle more with the sugar and carb cravings. And one of the things I noticed, because I really try hard to really sit and think about, where is this coming from? What is this? And I think I may have shared before, see, I don't love this curly hair. What? Sorry. I really think that when I really looked at when I was getting the sugary carb cravings was most often in response to emotions, and even, especially in the evening, it really came down to the fact that I was tired and just worn out. And so I would crave carbs and things to nibble on while I was watching TV or, sitting around with the hubs or reading or whatever. And I started to consider that I should probably just go to bed. That I was just tired and I was using the food as a way to stay awake and maybe give me a little bit of energy when I really probably just needed the sleep and the rest. Especially when I was working as a social worker and I would come home just mentally, physically exhausted from the mental load of the job. And it was just a way of comfort and giving me a little bit of energy to try and enjoy my night, my evening, when I really just needed probably to just rest. So I started doing like an experiment of things to do instead of eating. Like I would get a cup of hot tea and I would put a little whipped cream on it. I had a little frother and I would whip that and then drizzle that on top of the tea and add a little sprinkle of cardamom or cinnamon or something. Make it a little like fancy treat. But it really was a little bit of nothing. It wasn't like there was a lot of calories in it or anything. It was just something that was comfort, right? And so I started doing that once in a while, or sometimes even just get a cup of hot lemon water, or even just a cup of hot water. Somehow the warmth of it was enough comfort. And that would sort of satisfy that little bit of a craving, or impulse to snack. And then I thought, okay, well, if hot water with a little squeeze of lemon is good, then I don't even need the tea or whatever. The little bit of a tea bag, like that's a minuscule amount of a plant material, right? It's like nothing. Or if you're not someone who would want to do like a hot tea or something, you could always, anything that would sort of distract your mind a little bit and keep your hands busy, because a lot of times I think it not only is just that we're tired and looking for a boost, but it's also kind of just a habit. We just get in the habit of snacking after dinner. If you eat enough dinner, you're not going to be hungry. Like, it isn't as though your body is hungry, but it will do things that are habits or that you're accustomed to, or that if you're the person who eats not hardly any dinner because you want to have dessert, what are other things you can do instead? You have to really think about what is your pattern like and what may work for you, either to distract you, to get that thought out of your head that you're wanting the snack, or just distract you long enough that that goes away, because it usually will just go away within a few minutes. Like if you're someone who, I'm trying to learn to crochet, I can't even hardly make a slip knot yet. Like I just don't know why my brain cannot wrap around that process. But, you know, but if you're like someone who likes to draw or paint or crochet or knit or play a musical instrument or anything like that, something that will sort of keep your hands busy and your mind occupied, and those cravings and habits and thoughts will go away. So I think I want to wrap that up right there. I don't think I want to talk anymore, because you know how I go on like all kind of random topics, even though in my mind they're all related to each other, right? But I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if they were, and if they were helpful for you and you know someone else who might benefit, please share this. And also leave me a comment too if you are in need of accountability or would like to share anything like that with me. I would love to. So I will talk to you again soon. Signing off for now. Have a great day.